The activity of daily living that I chose to assess on 2 different individuals is getting in and out of a chair. The posture of individual A approached the chair with a relatively upright torso and a slight backward lean. They could have been more cautious in their approach. They're going very fast. They need to ensure alignment with the chair before sitting because they barely looked at it. They used a step forward motion with one foot, followed by bending at the hips and knees. The descent could have been more controlled with a slight shift in weight backward as they lowered themselves. The technique she used was she placed her hands in her lap to aid balance and control. The descent was smooth with minimal use of momentum. Her final position ended with her hips all the way back in the chair and feet are in a pointed position. She had a straight back and a sunken in posture. For individual B, their posture was completely relaxed in the chair, leaning all the way back, even their head was rested on it. They used a cautious approach, went slowly one body part by one body part. Their movement pattern also used a step forward motion with one foot, following by bending at the hips and knees. They sat first with their butt on the chair, then pushed their back into the chair, and then their head into the chair. They placed their hands on the armrest for balance and control. For the final position, they ended with their whole body sunk into the chair, leaning all the way back. For getting out of the chair, individual A maintained a more upright and aligned posture when initiating the movement. She used a slow and controlled motion and used the chair to push off and extend her hips and knees. The push-off was smooth and had an emphasis on maintaining balance and control. The movement involved a slight forward lean to help lift off the chair. After she was off the chair, she stood straight and stable and took a couple steps away from the chair. For individual B, his posture starts with a more forward-leaning posture with a straight back. He uses a more vigorous and abrupt motion, but he also uses help to get up. Here he uses the armrest instead of the actual chair. He used less control and balance and pushed off with more force and a sudden burst of movement. He has a quick rise off of the chair. His final position, he stands up with less control than individual A because he's immediately turning his body away from the chair and pushed off more abruptly than individual A. Two of the main differences that I saw was posture and alignment. Individual A tends to maintain better posture and alignment throughout the movement, whereas individual B shows more variability and less precision. Another difference that I saw was technique. Individual A often uses a smoother and more controlled technique, while individual B exhibited a more abrupt and less coordinated movement.